is being brought to you by Chicago House presenting partners, Nike Soccer, Chicago Center for Orthopedics of Weiss Memorial Hospital, Eat Clean Chicago, and Physical Therapy.
Mateo Kidd also seems to be a bit of a spark for Chicago in the midfield there. He's looking to find the ball, looking to possess, looking to connect with different players. So we'll continue to keep an eye on him as he's been introduced into the starting lineup this week.
Yes, help provide a little energy now here as Detroit City FC trying to figure things out on the road.
Detroit has a long throw in, so looks like they're going to mark up just like this was a corner.
Heaved into the area. House gets ahead to it initially, and the follow through is cranked over the bar. It was Filerman with the try.
Listen, even though he he hit that way over, he has a nice left foot. He scored a nice goal last time these two played. So definitely be on the lookout for his left foot.
Yeah, that was a pacey miss.
Yeah. But I appreciate his willingness to try it. You know, you don't shoot, you don't score.
This is Anthony Bowie. Wojcik dropping deep to make himself available.
Pretty solid defense back there by Tende. You know, Wojcik is a handful. He's got good size to him and pretty mobile. So sticking with him is definitely a key for Detroit to have success in keeping Chicago off the board tonight.
Musa Morris ready to line up this free kick. Bending in there. That's rejected back out to Bowie. Drew Connor will knock it back. Kafari searching for the right option. Takes Connor Rutz to the cul-de-sac with him in pursuit. It's Kozelik. Long ball over the top. Wojcik. Wojcik with that cross, and that deflects out for the first corner of this young match.
That's really good by Chicago, getting behind the defense of Detroit. Wojcik kind of getting a half chance, and now they're about to try to get on the end of another corner here.
Morris plays it short to Drew Connor. A quick little exchange. Almost snuffed out by Detroit City. Kozelik. Musa Morris. Back to Kozelik. But intercepted by Detroit City, but only for a second. Huffman gets ahead to it. Second time he's had a little half chance around goal.
Yeah, he's getting up there. So Detroit needs to make sure that they watch out for his ability to win the ball in the air.
Huffman and Kafari. Good anticipation there from Detroit City, but it's recovered by Chicago House. Just looking for a little room to run there is Musa Morris. Abador to Connor. Morris is fouled.
Yeah, Dan, it's pretty congested there in the midfield. A lot of numbers there. I think the key for both teams is getting the ball out wide, get some good service in, and also playing the ball behind the defensive lines.
Yeah, that was one of the strengths mentioned by Chicago House for Detroit City is their play in the midfield.
Well, Detroit they have a strong midfield. They have Rodriguez in there. Pretty crafty. Wants the ball. So you always got to be wary of those guys. But Chicago seems to be doing a good job of trying to maintain those guys. Looks like maybe Chicago came out 4-1, 4-1. With Kafari holding in front of the back four. He's got to be big for them as well tonight, Kafari.
It's Venegas behind the ball for Detroit City. It was Wojcik knocking that out with his head. All of a sudden, Detroit City now trying to create here around Michael Novotny's goal, their first corner.
Chicago's got to be very tuned in here, getting this ball cleared out as they let in a late goal last time to lose the game.
Curled in by Venegas, getting both fists up to that was Michael Novotny. And any further danger is cleared out off the boot of Anthony Bowie. Ball intended for Venegas. Pushed out by Kozelik. And it was interesting talking to Trevor James and having him go through his starting 11 this week. And oftentimes he'd start to say, yeah, this guy's been here a long time, 9 years. It's like, wow, these guys have been together for, a couple months here for Chicago House. But, something to remember, though, is there's a lot of local kids on the Chicago House teams, that the Kozeliks, the Drew Connors, the David Abadors. These guys knew each other growing up through the youth systems as well. It's not the same as being teammates when you're adults, but it doesn't hurt.
No, it definitely doesn't hurt. When you know each other, when you've been around each other, how each other plays, and what you like, what you dislike, it definitely helps on and off the field. On and off the field. So you can see why Detroit's had success. They had some veteran players, guys who have been around for a while. So this is no surprise that they've been successful in this league.
Well done by Bowie. A little bit of a breezy evening. Huffman, Mateo Kidd. Looking to spread the ball around now. And so far, about halfway through this opening first half, turning the ball over a lot less frequently than they have the last two games, Chicago House.
Yeah, they did a really good job of keeping possession this evening. And overall, it seems that they're playing well. They're on the front foot, in my opinion. Detroit hasn't had much of the ball, and it'd be interesting to see what the percentages of possession are.
Little stumble by Bowie. Does well to protect the ball, though, along the near touchline. Michael Kozelik. Musa Morris. A little turnstile play there going forward. Morris to Kafari, inching towards the penalty area. An errant pass. Bowie racing to keep that ball alive. Bowie, nice cross. Wojcik was in the vicinity. Here's Kafari. Again, there's Huffman. And the save made by Nate Steinwasser. Right side of the penalty area. Derek Huffman has had a few looks for Chicago House.
Once again, it started off of Huffman's aerial prowess, and I was able to get a shot off. I do believe that he wished he would probably have that one back because he didn't make the greatest connection with it, but another great chance for Chicago. And what a move by Musa Morris. I feel like I've used that back in my day to get around some guys, and they definitely don't expect it when they're playing really tight to you. letting it roll through your legs.
No one's ever used that move on you, though.
No.
Or if they did, that result was not that.
No, definitely.
That's the voice of MLS Cup champion Dason Robinson. I'm Dan Kelly with our crew, so good to have you with us. Striding forward is Filerman, and the ball just beat him out.
But not a bad idea from Detroit. They are a team that can play over the top and get behind Chicago. And that's the way they played last time these two played, and it seems like that is their method of operation this time around as well. But Chicago, like I said, seemed to be on the front foot this game.
The drums of Detroit City FC supporters behind Michael Novotny as he puts this back into play. Bowie's looked solid as well tonight, number 27 for Chicago House, possessing the ball. Connecting with Huffman. Now taking the initiative. Here's Drew Connor, clipping it forward there with eyes for Wojcik. And it's Abador. Settles out of the back. Using the full width of the field. Bowie strolling forward, has Kafari behind him. Sulia switching. Kozelik will have to go back for it. Kafari leaves it out wide for Drew Connor. Mateo Kidd. Excellent defending there by Stephen Carroll just to brush it out of the penalty area. Drew Connor on the ball again. Wojcik trying to make the turn. Wojcik fires it over the crossbar. Wow. But getting closer, Chicago House AC.
Well, another opportunity for Chicago. Just finding themselves these little windows to get behind Detroit City's back line. And another shot just a little bit off by Wojcik.
You want to avoid the scenario, though, where you build up so many chances, and then Detroit comes down and has that one chance.
Dan, you're spot on. You're spot on. At some point in time, Chicago does have to put one of these shots in the back of the net because the longer you let teams hang around, the more dangerous they become. That's just, for some reason, the nature of the game.
Pato operating out wide there for Detroit City. Rodriguez off the quick throw. Service coming in. There's Filerman nosing around, looking to unleash a shot. And a free kick from a dangerous area upcoming for the visitors. So in the 30th minute, Detroit City with an opportunity to open up the scoring. Venegas gets a few words from his teammate Connor Rutz. And Michael Novotny diving after that one. Will be a goal kick.
Not a bad attempt on goal. Hits the crossbar. Novotny full stretched, full extension. The score remains the same, 0-0.
Connor spots Kidd. Musa Morris trying to sneak by everybody. Carroll. Cooley makes the turn away from Morris. Pato is fouled. Hasn't been too physical so far tonight.
No, overall it's been a pretty clean game. Last couple minutes or so, a couple fouls, but it's been pretty clean.
Some of the keys tonight for C.J. Brown's perspective: defend as a group, keep the ball on the ground. So far, so good. High energy, 90-plus minutes and 30-plus minutes. That's been the case from his side.
It certainly has, and Dan, I think that if they keep this up, I think Chicago will get a solid result this evening. But like I said, they do have to put the ball in the back of the net.
Thumped in, Carroll trying to get away from his man, and that was well detected as the push there on Michael Kafari. There's a lot to play for. Chicago House picks up the full 3 points tonight. They can be tied on points for third in the NISA standings. They lose, they're in last. This is Huffman cruising forward. Huffman trying to get a step. They're well defended by Detroit City, and they'll clear it away. Kozelek taking advantage of a Detroit City player slipping on the surface. Little opening, Mateo Kidd. Pushing out wide for Huffman. Making the overlap is Bowie. Ooh, and Musa Morris is decked as Nate Steinwasser out to grab that cross.
Hopefully Musa and Steinwasser are both okay. Looks like they are. Both getting up.
Steinwasser's a good story. Probably the best keeper in NISA last year. He's an accountant, so only trains about 2 days a week. And oh yeah, he and his wife had a baby a few weeks ago. So training sometimes takes a back seat to babies and main jobs.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
Cyrus Sadie is familiar with Big Ten country out of Michigan State. He's got some quality on the ball, number 10 for Detroit City. So Morris will collect. Wojcik communicating across the field with Michael Kozelek. Bowie on the interception. Navigates it in the middle. Wojcik couldn't keep it. A little more possession from Detroit City here in the latter half of the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, it seems to be working for Detroit City as well when they keep possession, and it gives them the opportunity to get more numbers in the attack, and as opposed to when they're playing these long balls and it's just Pato 1 against 2 or 3.
Cyrus Sadie. There's Filerman. Connor Rutz shielded off the ball by Bowie. It'll be a throw for Chicago House. Trying to hit that big target. Wojtek Wojcik. There he's able to nudge it on forward for Morris. Morris again is fouled.
Yeah, probably not going to allow him to play from there.
Saw Wojcik from distance hum one over the crossbar last weekend. That's something that's in the tackle box of number 9 for Chicago House as well. We haven't seen him have an opportunity to do it yet tonight.
Not yet, but they are getting the ball wide and trying to put some crosses in. So hopefully they continue that and end up finding Wojcik's abilities to put the ball in the back of the net with his head.
So far it's been Morris and Huffman creating the most danger around the area for House. It's like the Wild West, NISA, knowing who you're going to play against, the opposition, the style they play, but a little bit of an advantage. At least Chicago House got to see Detroit City once already this year, losing to them in early August, 3-2.
Looks like it's a little bit of a misunderstanding between the referee linesman. Looks like it's now Chicago's ball, Chicago's throw.
Abador keeps it on the grass there for Morris. Kozelik. He's been well marked, Wojcik, so far. They're certainly trying to find him. Sadie floats it out wide. Venegas does well as he stumbled. We've seen a few players slip on the pitch tonight.
Yeah, it rained a bit today, this morning, and even a little bit before the game, and that's probably contributed to some of the slipping on the field.
Here's Filerman, engaged by Bowie. Filerman gets a step into the area, and an excellent defensive play by Sulia to knife that ball away. Some of the most dangerous moments created around goal from Detroit tonight. Now Connor ready to dart forward. Sees he's got some space. Drew Connor trying to drag people with him. Drew Connor lets it rip. And a rebound there, but Steinwasser is able to gather it in time.
Yeah, pretty simple save from Steinwasser. Great drive forward by Connor. It was great. Obviously, I think he wished he would have maybe hit it obviously a little bit wider to the corners. But he exuded a lot of energy getting forward. So, but it's a good sign for Chicago that Drew's able to get through and get a shot on frame.
Looked like he was at the University of Wisconsin with that pace, not the old guy that he's going to become one day. Chicago House, they train on turf during the week. Of course, playing on grass tonight. Their home match is on grass. Detroit City, they train at their home stadium. So they train and play on turf. So this is a little bit of a treat for them.
Yeah.
At least their bodies.
Yeah, the turf can be a bit rough on the bodies. And I'm glad to see that they're playing on grass. Me personally, I'm a fan of playing on grass. But I understand why the turf is so widely used. And it is good. It is nice. The ball rolls smooth, but I'm still a fan of the grass.
As most people involved in this game are. Advantage played. Detroit City there as Connor had potentially fouled Rodriguez. Play goes on. Detroit City now into the area, looking to create this first goal. Sadie was looking to launch the shot, but just in time, Chicago House clears it away. The threat, though, still lingering. Huffman calms things down. Wojcik coming back to help maintain possession and get out of this pickle.
Yeah, Chicago's under it a little bit. Last couple opportunities from Detroit have come down the wings. Both wing backs have been beat. Bowie slipped though on his, but both sides have had opportunities and created chances for their team.
Chicago House displaying that patience, waiting for something to open up. Especially here in the late minutes of the first half.
Yeah, this is a time that both teams want to finish strong. They don't want to let anything in. If you can get one right before half, that'd be great going into the break, but you definitely want to shore things up.
I think Wojcik will have a few conversations with a few teammates at the break about the service he's getting in the passes, but just learning to connect with one another.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a couple fouls in a row there for Drew Connor. The referee just held out 2 fingers and let him know, hey, that's 2.
As soon as he saw that, Drew just turned around.
Yeah.
The captain didn't say a word.
Yeah.
He knew.
Probably the next time you might see that card, but hopefully it gets out of the half without a card.
Kevin Venegas, you know that you've been around for a while when you were originally drafted by Chivas USA. They'll knock it in.
Nah.
A few shouts for perhaps a whistle for a penalty, but Wojcik helps dig that ball out of the area and clear it.
Nah, went down a little bit too easy for me. And apparently for the linesman and the referee as well.
Filerman. Chomikov, just a bread and butter player for Detroit City. Filerman loses it. Wojcik there. Beats Chomikov to it. Maybe the final chances of this opening half. This is Derek Huffman. Kozelik. An easy one for Carroll to reclaim for Detroit City. And I would imagine very little to no stoppage time.
Fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 1 minute.
And we hear it now, 1 minute.
1 minute.
Wojcik trying to create some danger. Huffman, there's an opening. Derek Huffman lets it rip, but right at the keeper, Nate Steinwasser. That's the third look that Huffman's had at goal here in the first half.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake back there. And Detroit's back line, and a chance for Huffman to get on the board, but once again, right at the keeper.
Well done by Wojcik to find him. Bursting onto the scene. The whistle sounds to signify the end of the opening half here in Bridgeview, Illinois. Say a possession advantage to Chicago House. Obviously no score after 45 minutes. Overall play, do you give the advantage to Chicago House as well?
I'll give the advantage to Chicago, definitely on possession and chances. They look really good this first half, and almost night and day from our last home game and the last game against Detroit.
So, 0-0 after 45 minutes in Illinois. Stick with us for our halftime coverage and hopefully some more goals on the other side.
At Physical Therapy and Balance Centers, it's our job to make the complex simple. When your life is sidelined by an injury, surgery, or a condition keeping you from doing what you love, our services aim to get you pain-free and fully functioning. We truly care about our patient outcomes, helping you achieve your goals and improve your quality of life. Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. Love your life.
We know the thrill of pushing your body to that ultimate high.
And we understand how injury brings the most painful low.
Whether you suffer a tear, a sprain, a break, or the effects of time.
The sports medicine team at Weiss Memorial Hospital gets you moving again.
We treat Olympic, professional, and amateur athletes, student athletes, and everyday people seeking active lives.
Our expert physicians and nurses diagnose your problem and provide state-of-the-art, non-surgical, and surgical treatment.
Physical therapists and rehabilitation experts guide your body back to the motion you want and need.
There's no injury too big
or too small,
because when it's your body,
your passion,
your mission to get back to doing what you love,
the sports medicine team at Weiss Memorial Hospital will get you there.
This Chicago House Athletic Club broadcast is brought to you by the Chicago Center for Orthopedics at Weiss Memorial Hospital, by Nike Soccer, by Physical Therapy and Balance, and by Eat Clean Chicago.
Well, a reminder, Chicago House fans, don't forget next home match, Friday, September 17th against the LA Force. Visit ChicagoHouseAC.com to buy your tickets now. That's the next home match, September 17th versus the LA Force. Back with Dason Robinson, I'm Dan Kelly, and it's exciting to start to learn about a new league, NISA, and it's a short season when you play in the fall and spring, so everybody chasing the top teams, and we take a gander around the NISA standings right now, and the results the way they went last night, a lot of the top teams lost, so perhaps opening the door for some of those top spots for a team like Chicago House that needs to start accumulating some points.
Yeah, Dan, all you could ask for is a chance, and right now Chicago has that chance. As you mentioned, some of the top teams lost last night. New Amsterdam, Chattanooga, 1904. They lost last night, and so the door is not just open, but it's wide open for Chicago to have an opportunity to get back in their winning ways and get toward the top of the table.
See some of the scores from last night as we approach the midway point. In Detroit City, it's interesting in asking Detroit, do you guys feel pressure? The champs, one of the top teams. And the answer I got was really no from Trevor James, because our guys feel pressure every home match, playing in front of 7,000 or 8,000 people. That's another great advantage that Detroit City has.
Yeah, they definitely have a great crowd. Obviously, you can see they have some supporters here. So watching the last game between Chicago and Detroit, the crowd looked great. They were into it. They were excited. And so whenever you have that behind you, it always gives you that extra push, right? Extra fight. Like, we can go get this. We can go get this.
Just the second ever home match for Chicago House, just starting to build the foundation for this club. As we'll take a break. The score, 0-0 at the break.
This is Chicago House. This is Chicago House.
But they do, like, they do a job.
At Physical Therapy and Balance Centers, it's our job to make the complex simple. When your life is sidelined by an injury, surgery, or a condition keeping you from doing what you love, our services aim to get you pain-free and fully functioning. We truly care about our patient outcomes, helping you achieve your goals and improve your quality of life. Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. Love your life.
At Moonlight, we believe better nights lead to better days, and better days add up to a better life. All of our mattresses use safe seam and fire-resistant technology without any spray-on chemicals. Not to mention, our products are made right here in the USA in a little city called Elgin, Illinois. Our commitment to quality doesn't stop there. Just look at all those certifications. At the end of the day, or the middle of the night, Moonlight mattresses are the best choice for both baby and family. Moonlight. Better nights, better days.
Well, you want to represent the house? Then head on over to ChicagoHouseAC.com. Find out all the latest t-shirts, hats, jackets, and more from your beloved Chicago House AC, as the combatants are just coming back onto the pitch, almost ready to start this second half. And Dason, what is something you're looking for Chicago House to do better or keep doing in the second half?
Well, I think they had a pretty solid first half. I think it is very important that Chicago stays tuned in defensively when the ball gets out wide, on corners. These are some times that, you know, when goals can be scored on just because somebody is turned off. And I'm also looking for Chicago to finish their chances. They've definitely had some chances here in the first half, but some of the shots have been right at the keeper or wide, and so they need to get some shots. Number one, obviously on frame, but they need to put this ball in the back of the net. They're looking to win tonight. And the last thing I'm looking for is belief. Dan, if they don't believe as a team, or obviously it starts individually, but if they don't believe as a team that they can get some goals, that they can defend and they can finish this game strong, then it may not go the way they desire.
Yeah, they're facing one of the top sides, and the scary thing for Chicago is it looked like Detroit City, they kind of lost their bus legs that first half the longer it went on, and you know it'll be a better team in the second half.
Yeah, I know they are obviously a veteran team. They have players who've played in different places and obviously who've played in NISA and on Detroit for a while. And so they're looking to either obviously get a result, but they're looking to obviously keep Chicago off of the board and try to sneak one in. They've had a few chances. And so they're going to try to get one and try to ride this one home.
Well, we'll ride this one home when we come back. Again, it's Chicago and Detroit goalless after 45 minutes of play from Bridgeview, Illinois.
At Moonlight, we believe better nights lead to better days, and better days add up to a better life. All of our mattresses use safe seam and fire-resistant technology without any spray-on chemicals. Not to mention our products are made right here in the USA in a little city called Elgin, Illinois. Our commitment to quality doesn't stop there. Just look at all those certifications. At the end of the day, or the middle of the night, Moonlight mattresses are the best choice for both baby and family. Moonlight. Better nights, better days.
At Physical Therapy and Balance Centers, it's our job to make the complex simple. When your life is sidelined by an injury, surgery, or a condition keeping you from doing what you love, our services aim to get you pain-free and fully functioning. We truly care about our patient outcomes, helping you achieve your goals and improve your quality of life. Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. Love your life.
We know the thrill of pushing your body to that ultimate high.
And we understand how injury brings the most painful low.
Whether you suffer a tear, a sprain, a break, or the effects of time.
The sports medicine team at Weiss Memorial Hospital gets you moving again.
We treat Olympic, professional, and amateur athletes, student athletes, and everyday people seeking active lives.
Our expert physicians and nurses diagnose your problem and provide state-of-the-art, non-surgical and surgical treatment.
Physical therapists and rehabilitation experts guide your body back to the motion you want and need.
There's no injury too big
or too small.
Because when it's your body,
your passion,
your mission to get back to doing what you love,
the sports medicine team at Weiss Memorial Hospital will get you there.
Almost ready to start the second half here on a Sunday night that's turned into a wonderful night for a little NISA soccer alongside Dason Robinson. I'm Dan Kelly. What do you guys usually do at halftime? I guess it depends on the weather conditions or the way the game's going, but is it just a mental and physical break sometimes?
Well, a lot of times you go in, I would probably say most coaches allow you to kind of, decompress and like chill out for a second, and then they come back in with the game plan for the rest of the start of the second half. And after that, you talk to a teammate, maybe something didn't go well on the field between you two or three, and you try to talk that out, work that out, and then by the time you get your fluids into you and maybe a little snack or something, it's time to get back out there and get to work. So personally, I always know that each game is a tale of two halves, man. It's a tale of two halves. So something could go one way the first half and be a total 180 the second half. So you got to be ready.
Yeah, it's almost like two different games. And your cat's eye noticed this. We might be getting ready to see a new player, a substitution coming on for Trevor James in Detroit City FC, Javin Torre.
Yeah, it looks like he's a California product, California boy. Grew up in the LA Galaxy youth system, UCLA Bruins. So looks like he's about to come in. So we'll wait for the official announcement.
Of course, we'll see perhaps some changes from Chicago House AC as well. We saw Damon Almazan, the starting 11 before. He's in the 18, along with So-In Kim. John Requeo Jr. made his debut late in that 4-0 loss to New Amsterdam FC last weekend. So some options.
There's definitely some options coming off the bench. And Kim obviously started last game and now has been made an option coming off the bench. But you never know. He was a converted right back. Potentially could play more offensive if he does come in as a sub.
Well, we saw something demonstrated, not to a T, but I think the coaching staff would be pleased. He wanted them to have the mindset that not have that go-go mentality and to settle down on the ball and be patient with it if there's a play's not on. And I think Chicago House AC performed that task pretty well in the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, they definitely had a lot more patience this time around, and I hope they keep that same mindset that even if it's not on, they can pull it back, reset, go back around, and just keep possession. And once again, I believe the game is chess and not checkers, and so at times you do have to attack and you do have to challenge the back line, but they're doing a good job of keeping the ball this first half.
And another key from Chicago House's perspective is to keep the ball on the ground. They're not an aerial team, and that's evident when you watch one of their more dangerous players try to go up for an aerial challenge. Musa Morris is not going to come down with a ton of those balls.
No, not at all, but playing into Wojcik, he's definitely the main man, the target guy to get the end on some crosses, and Huffman's been getting up. I've been watching him get up and win about 3 headers and or challenge for those headers and create some havoc back there in the box.
Supporters enjoying a little house music here inside SeatGeek Stadium.
Oh yeah, Chicago is known for his house music, so it's good to hear it. Live DJ here at SeatGeek Stadium back stand, so I know the fans are enjoying it.
The captain, Drew Connor, was out on the pitch barefoot to get a feel for it prior to the match, and he sauntered over to the DJ. And I'm sure he told him to turn it up louder because the music was louder after he had that little meeting with Drew.
Yeah, he was feeling it.
They've turned it down since now that, it's a family night as well.
They have.
Don't need to hurt anyone's ears. It sounded sweet. Ready for the second half. Inside the house of Chicago House, still searching for their first ever home goal. Be nice if it was the game winner that led to their first ever home 3 points. First ever 3 points in general. The numbers are pretty even in terms of fouls and corners, except shots. Chicago House out shooting Detroit City 5-2.
It's a great sign. It's got to be a great sign, great feeling for CJ and House. Out shooting their opponents this first half, but they gotta finish. They gotta finish. They gotta finish.
Sadie down this right side. Venegas to his right. Sadie shoots it into the area. Push in the area. It's been good for Michael Novotny. He hasn't been nearly as busy as he was last weekend.
The stress level's probably down as well. Last game between Chicago and Detroit, two penalties given up. So he's got to be feeling a little bit better about that.
Kozelik. Kind of a glue guy on this team. Teammates love him, just works his socks off. It's Bowie. Mateo Kidd. Little exchange with Kafari. Huffman drops it off. Cross was intended for Kafari, looked to be the closest. Michael Kozelik. Kidd will tap it back. Kidd, clever little turn, is able to keep it. This is Kafari. Looking to sync up there with Wojcik.
The House returns to SeatGeekStadium next month on Friday, September 17th at
Well, a reminder, fans, you can still purchase season tickets, group tickets, or single game tickets for our remaining home matches during the 2021 NISA fall season. Just visit our website, chicagohouseac.com. Well done by Venegas to keep that ball in play. And possession alive for Detroit City. Musa Morris. Wojcik now on the right side. Musa Morris with some pace.
Advantage played.
And it's recovered by City. Connor Rutz. But 4 defenders back for Chicago House. Kafari switching now to Drew Connor. What have you thought of David Abador so far?
Yeah, I think he's been a great addition to this back line. He's settled things down for them. And I was telling Coach C.J. Brown that I thought his entering into the lineup last week even settled the team down last week, even though obviously the result wasn't great. He seemed to come in with confidence and a real just a confidence about him to settle that back line down.
Sulia, number 32 for Chicago House, made that wonderful defensive clearance back in the first half. Musa Morris now on the left. He draws a crowd, Musa Morris, trying to turn by that crowd.
Little Ole, little Meg there.
Kozelik and Drew Connor. It's been a calm beginning to this second half. Venegas engages Kozelik. Sadie looking to head the other way for Detroit City as Rutz was fouled.
Yeah, but that's well done by David Abador. Him and Sulia have been up the forwards' backs and really been putting a lot of pressure on them, not letting them get comfortable and turn with the ball. So it's been really good for those two in the back.
C.J. Brown was saying this week that when he used to lose a game, he would think about it all week and bring it home with him, and hoping his players had the same mentality after a 4-0 defeat in their home opener, and so far, so good. But playing one of the top sides in the league tonight, and an experienced team that's won together before. Clipped in by Rodriguez. It's Huffman, first to that.
Now's the time, Chicago. They need to get organized. Not a long throw this time, but they still need to be tuned in.
Clears that ball with authority there off the advertising boards.
Looks like somebody was trying to send a message, and you can see the referee.
Yeah, it was Huffman who fired the ball off the boards. Now has the chat with our man in the middle.
Please be aware that alcohol sales inside SeatGeekStadium will end in the 75th minute.
I think Filerman saying that Huffman may have throwing an elbow there, so we'll see if anything happens between those two going forward.
Flung into the area. Booted away by Musa Morris.
Oh, uh-oh. Keepers out, keepers out. Oh.
Gets a little bit of a break.
A little bit of a miscommunication there on the back between Detroit.
You like how we commentators always call it miscommunication?
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes, Dason, it's just my teammate messed up.
Oh, man.
Pato does well to keep it. Venegas down the near side. Trying to switch it, but well anticipated out of the back by Bowie for Chicago House. Rodriguez. And again, well anticipated by House. Wojcik. Who wants it? And Detroit City will come up with it. 55th minute. So far, a goalless Sunday evening. Stephen Carroll begins this attack. The intervention from Sulia. Cyrus Sadie. It's Matt Lewis out of the Sporting Kansas City Academy. Venegas misses it. Kafari now ready to go the other way. Just overshot Morris with that pass.
Bit of an unforced error there. I think that's the opportunity to maintain possession. Great defensive play by Sulia, and I think those are the things that are going to help Chicago have more success this year, limiting those unforced errors.
Maybe one critique from Chicago House, their possession has been better, their ball movement has been better, but their passing still could be a little more precise. Foul called.
And there it is. If I'm correct, I think that's Drew Connor.
I think he's run out of strikes.
Saw it coming later in the first half.
So first booking of this match. Headed away by David Abador. Wojcik. He and Musa Morris settle things down, and now a little more room to operate out of the back. And it's confirmed that a yellow card was on Drew Connor.
Great switch by Kozelik.
Connor running into the area there looking for a cross. Can someone find goal? These two teams combined to score 5 goals with the help of some penalties called back in early August. But
yeah, Chicago's got to get Musa on the ball facing his net. He's receiving a lot of balls with his back to the net. maintaining possession, but he's obviously most dangerous when he's going towards goal. So Chicago's got to find him in those positions.
Kozelik wins it back for House. Wojcik. And Musa Morris in the midfield. Morris loses it to Venegas. Connor Rutz. There to meet him was Kozelik. Will stay with Detroit City. Huffman, the defensive work for Chicago.
Like I say, you want to watch these two the rest of the game. These two seem to have a little something against each other. So just be on the lookout for this battle.
Filerman versus Huffman. Into the 60th minute. Wojtek Wojcik. Trying to sense where there's space. And the jersey grab, so the whistle and card comes out.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Huffman who he pulled down, but Filerman was just a little frustrated.
Was it Filerman?
It was Filerman.
I didn't know if Pato was around as well.
I feel like I'm familiar with those emotions. Just frustrated.
There's Huffman. Back to goal. Mateo Kidd hurriedly on for Drew Connor. Just a heavy touch, and it got away from him. Sulia back to protect the house. So Filerman on a yellow for City, and Drew Connor has a yellow for Chicago. And a corner on the way for the visitors.
Filerman must have thought that Kidd was Huffman.
It's a quick game. It's tough to get a look out there.
Yeah.
As they congregate in the penalty area for the corner kick. Low service. Musa Morris is able to get to it first. Rutz. And that high cross never had a chance. A little bit of a homecoming for Detroit City's manager. Trevor James was the scout and an interim assistant coach for a quick spell for the Chicago Fire when they used to play inside then Toyota Park. A lot of Major League Soccer experience from Trevor James. He's been with Frank Yallop in San Jose and LA Galaxy in previous years. And of course, it's always a homecoming for C.J. Brown. His career celebrated the Ring of Honor.
Deservedly so. Deservedly so.
Kozelik does it well to just get ahead on that, but it's Pato the other way. Pato thought about it, pushes it on. Venegas, and that's out off of David Abador.
Good defending. And it blocked across. Kavatny. A little bit of a fist bump to Abador for blocking that cross.
Cyrus Sadie behind the ball in this corner for City. Launched in again, low service. Again, Musa Morris was near it.
Chicago has to stay marked up.
Chomikov, high hanging cross, comes down.
Oh, no.
They point to the spot. A penalty, and the door knocked ajar for Detroit City FC here in the 64th minute. What's this, the third penalty between these two teams, Dason, so far this season?
Third penalty. Now, here's the thing. When you go to ground, anytime in the box, there's always a chance that a PK could be given. You never know how a player sells it, what the contact is like. So you just always you got to be sure if you're going to the ground that you're going to get that ball, that the timing's right. And it looks like right in this instance, I think it was Kafari who the penalty was called on, and referee said that he didn't get it right.
To be Rodriguez standing behind the ball for Detroit City.
Cavani had a big save. He saved one of the penalties last time they played, so let's see if he is able to come up big again. This is big for both teams, Dan. This is big for both teams.
Could Novotny stop the penalty? He goes the other way. Maxi Rodriguez opens up the scoring here in minute number 65 for Detroit City FC.
Maxi Rodriguez steps up. Gets Cavani going the other way. Pretty solid pin. Pretty solid pin. So, like I said, this is a big moment for both teams.
So we'll see how Chicago House responds now after absorbing that first goal, after probably having the better of the play through the first half.
It'll be interesting to see how Detroit plays on from here. Are they going to press more? Do they have more belief going forward now because they're up one?
Mateo Kidd chipping it into the area. Carroll was all over that. Bowie out wide. Unable to penetrate there.
You know what's also something that happens. I don't know what it is, Dan, but it's a psychological thing that the first 5 minutes after a goal is scored, it's like an open window sometimes for another goal to be scored or a goal to be scored on you. So let's see if Chicago can actually take advantage of this next 3 or 4 minutes of play.
It's that natural emotional letdown it seems to be for, as Dason said, for about 5 minutes after a goal, trying to take advantage of it. Musa Morris will bring this ball in. Eyes there for Wojcik. It comes down for Drew Connor. Connor down to ground to keep that ball. Desperately trying to recover it. Detroit City, and they do.
Call for a handball by Chicago's bench.
But showing some fight after allowing that goal. Still a ton of time. This is Michael Kozelik. Venegas back to help. Knocking down Kozelik.
To your point, Dan, there's a lot of time left. So Chicago doesn't have to push so much that they get out of character and they stretch themselves too far and too wide. They just need to maintain what they were doing in the first half, push the game, keep the ball, and get the ball wide, push it forward.
Kafari pushes it forward and wide. Mateo Kidd unable to catch up to that. Huffman served it a little too far in front of him. Sulia tracking back. There's Venegas with some room around him. Venegas gives it a hit, bounding towards Novotny. Initially, maybe it looked like he might have some trouble with the rebound, but he's able to keep track of it.
That was a tough one for Novotny. Those one bouncers right in front of you, trying to deal with that can be challenging, but it seemed like Novotny was able to deal with it.
And there's some worn spots in the 6 box there around Michael Novotny as well to deal with those one hoppers. Has to be in the back of his mind. This is Abador. Gets the start. Musa Morris just runs into congestion. Rodriguez, the man who converted from the spot minutes ago, now prancing his way through the midfield. Comes over to Venegas. An excellent crosser of the ball, Venegas, but there it doesn't work out. Drew Connor, hopeful that this is the beginning of an attack. Huffman fending off onlookers. Kafari, trouble keeping it. But he's fouled, was one of the reasons he had trouble keeping it.
Yeah, the game was getting a little bit open on both sides. One thing that I'm seeing from Chicago's defense is that they're starting to lose their shape a little bit and their communication with who's marking who and who's tracking back. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to shore that up the rest of this game.
Substitution for your Chicago House in the 71st minute of play. Leaving the match, number 11, Musa Morris. Entering the match, number 14, Anthony Ray Smith. The substitution is presented by Moonlight Match.
So Anthony Ray Smith replacing one of the more dangerous attacking players in Musa Morris. There's a header. Novotny is able to make the save, but Anthony Ray Smith also brings some speed and danger to the field. See if he can help change things up.
Yeah, almost a free header there inside the box, and would have been surprised if that had gone in the back of the net. He was pretty wide open.
Sulia.
Yeah, Detroit's dropping way back, letting Chicago have the ball. So I feel like this is how it's going to be the rest of the half. Detroit's going to try to catch him on a counter, pick one off, and
there's Anthony Ray Smith, number 14 for Chicago House. Mateo Kidd. Kozelik now. Do you want to see more urgency going forward here from Chicago House?
I do. I don't mind them keeping the ball, working around the back, but the key for them is finding Drew Connor. Musa obviously has been subbed, so they got to find Drew Connor. They got to find Kidd. Kidd was very active in the first half, and you know, if he continues to be active and finding himself on the ball, I think good things will happen. But they also haven't really been finding Woj's feet either. He's been kind of a loner up there. So finding Woj's feet once again is always a good thing for Chicago.
Louis Bennett replaces Michael Kafari. Second sub utilized by C.J. Brown on this Sunday evening. As this match moves into the 74th minute, this is Kozelik. Louis Bennett able to get a touch on that. But it will stay with Detroit City. A reminder, next home match for Chicago House AC, Friday, September 17th against the LA Force. Just visit chicagohouseac.com to buy your tickets now. Maybe get a look at some of that great merchandise as well. Louis Bennett. Trying to force that ball through a few Detroit City players, but House is able to keep it. But now can they do something with it? They trail 1-0. Bowie striding forward. And the advantage was initially played, and now the foul is called on Sulia. Looks like Yazid Matthews getting ready to come on. Richard Bryan looks to be coming on in the future as well for the visitors.
Second substitution for Detroit City FC in the 76th minute. Leaving the match number 2, Jimmy Filerman. Entering the match number 25, Richard Bryan. These substitutions have been presented by Blue Light Master.
So it's Bryan coming in for Filerman. Venegas has a beat. Venegas left foots it, and he was closed down. Well done by Bennett. Excitedly the other way, it's Drew Connor. Abador seeing he's got some space. Why not?
Yeah, Chicago's got to push it a little bit now. Playing a little bit, not too slow, but they got to go. They got to go for it because obviously in the 77th minute, time is ticking down. So
you're playing at home.
Yeah.
Abador way behind the ball is down and in some pain. They play it out. Everybody notices it. Michael Kozelik trying to help out his teammate David Abador.
Looks like it might be a cramp. A bit of a fitness issue. If you've ever had a cramp, you know that those are not fun at all.
You always want to be careful and speculate in an injury, but when you see this, it's almost 100% guess, right?
Yeah. I'm not a betting man, but if you took me to Vegas right now.
Well, if they could just find a late goal, Chicago House AC, they don't want to leave their home fans disappointed.
Dan, it hasn't been a bad outing for Chicago. It really hasn't. obviously unfortunate the PK was called, and obviously Detroit did what they were supposed to do, was converted. So now Chicago has to push. They have to push.
You can make the case this has been a much better outing from Chicago's perspective compared to last week.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. It's been a much better outing, much better game from Chicago altogether. A lot of chances in the first half. Like you said, they had 5 shots, but I'm not sure how many shots they had this second half. Maybe 1, maybe 2.
We saw hydration breaks last weekend with similar weather conditions today, but just a touch cooler, it seems, especially with the late afternoon storm. So no hydration breaks tonight. But it's still a taxing evening.
Dan, I'm not sure if Abador is going to be able to continue walking pretty gingerly on the sideline there. And
Louis Bennett gives possession back to Detroit City since they knocked it out when Abador was down and injured. As Abador continues to limp on the sidelines, trying to walk it off. Rutz had visions there of Cyrus Sadie, but Chicago will clear it. The traveling supporters of Detroit City have been energized by that penalty goal from Maxi Rodriguez. There's Bowie, wins that 50-50 ball. Mateo Smith rumbles down the far side. It'll be a throw for Chicago. 81st minute, down 1-0. Louis Bennett launches low service. Nearest was Wojcik, but out of the dust, it's Detroit City. And they get a little interference there unintentionally from the man in the middle. Looks like Darwin Espinal going to come on for Detroit City.
Leaving the match, number 22, Mateo Kid. Entering the match, number 17, Leonardo Acosta. Second substitution for your Chicago House.
So Acosta on for Chicago House. Sadie exits this match as well for the visitors. And Damon Almazan also coming on for Chicago House.
looks like Chicago's moved Huffman back to the center back position.
James Vaughn, as you may have heard, one of the subs off the bench for Trevor James in Detroit City. Sulia sends it out wide. There's Detroit City just waiting maybe for that quick counter.
Yeah, Chicago's got to get that ball over the top, out wide. And down, they got to push, they got to press. Great tackle. There we go.
Well done by Bowie. Detroit playing a game of keep away here with that 1-0 advantage. Brushed back by Stephen Carroll. Venegas. But Kozelik was fouled. See if Chicago House can start to threaten goal. That will help the cause. The big man, the big target forward, Wojtek Wojcik, is fouled. That's been one area it would be nice to see if House could do better, is to somehow connect more frequently with Wojcik.
Well, here's an opportunity. Not sure who's going to take it.
Looks like it's going to be Louis Bennett. Just fresh off the bench. Louis Bennett left foots it in. Detroit City all over that. Reclaimed, though, by Chicago.
It's a foul. At least I thought it was.
It's Louis Bennett. He's looked promising in his first few minutes. Now he'll have to backpedal because here comes Detroit City. Good save by Kozelik. Dashing forward, Drew Connor. He'll splash it out wide. Mateo Kidd on it. Thought for a moment might have an opportunity for a Chicago House corner.
Yeah, looks like the linesman and the ref both weren't too sure of whose ball it was, but they ended up making a decision to the chagrin of Chicago House fans.
Well, these few minutes left are precious. Chicago House AC need to form an attack. So right now, Detroit City just playing out this game with possession and keeping Chicago House a long way from their goal.
So Detroit's doing a good job of, breaking up passes and stepping into passing lanes for Chicago. So as a team, can they pull this out? Can they maintain the zero? And obviously, that's what Trevor James is looking for. And as a player, that's what I would want. But they always know that the game is never over till it's over. So Chicago will definitely have one or two chances before this thing is over.
There a case where there could have been a half chance for Detroit. Just the passing just wasn't precise enough, and it causes a turnover. Free kick for Chicago House.
They gotta go a little bit more. They need a little bit more sense of urgency for me. They're gonna push this game and try to get a goal to get a result.
Yep, late times just south of Chicago looking for an equalizer. Louis Bennett behind the ball. for Chicago.
Can Wojcik get on the end of this, either for opportunity for himself or put it back across?
Wojcik was nearest. Instead, it's Nate Steinwasser reaching above him to grab that ball.
Good confident goalkeeping right there. Steinwasser.
He's done well with those crosses. He climbed up on Musa Morris as well in the first half, I believe, to make a claim. Saw 1 minute of added time in the first half, maybe a little more here in the second with all the substitutions. We saw Abador down for a moment.
Yeah, they got to press. They got to go. They got to go. They got to go.
See if they can go and if they can press.
Yeah, they got to throw some numbers up front.
Detroit City FC trying to remain unbeaten on this fall season at NISA. Now maybe here a chance to go forward for Chicago House. Initially tangled at the feet of Wojcik. They somehow keep it, and the foul is called.
Card there, yeah. I can see that one.
It's Drew Connor who gets up slowly.
I think that was on Venejas. Like I said, Dan, it's probably going to be 1 or 2 more opportunities here late. So can Detroit hold it? Can they stay locked in, stay marked up?
1 minute of added time. Or 5 minutes, I should say. I'm sorry. Louis Bennett behind the ball for Chicago House. Trying to create an equalizer. Oh. Bennett right at the keeper. Had some pace, but an easy stop for Nate Steinwasser.
The referee issued a Bookies Bookstore looking yellow card in the 90th minute of play to Detroit City FC 22 Kevin Venegas.
So it's Kevin Venegas. It's confirmed who was issued that yellow card. Looking for the long connection. Wojcik trying to flick it on. There, Wojcik trying to get body position on Rodriguez before the ball arrived. Somehow they're going to knock down Rodriguez and try to get that ball back. Espinal there as well. Stephen Carroll sends it into the night sky. What's the mentality here in stoppage time from Detroit City FC?
If you have the ball, go to the corner. If you have the ball, go to the corner. If it's in your defensive end, clear it. Get it up and out.
Keep it simple, but effective.
Yep. Now is not the time to be cute, fancy. No YouTube, social media stuff. Just trying to get that W.
Kozelik keeps it away from City. Drew Cotter now sends it out wide. Cross dealt with the 18 by Detroit. Chicago House still behind the ball. Their captain, Drew Cotter.
Let him get some service in the box. They're playing it around, but there it is.
Kozelik spins it in. Wojcik gets ahead to it as Anthony Ray Smith was nearest, but it's covered by Steinwasser. Dying minutes here in Bridgeview, Illinois. Chicago House looking for a late spark, some late life. They've converted from the spot off the foot of Maxi Rodriguez. This is how Detroit City FC has the 1-0 advantage here late.
Still a little bit of time. Little bit of time. But they need to press. They need to go. Probably dump it into Wojcik, play off his head, and run behind.
There's Wojcik. First to it, though, Detroit City FC.
There is the time.
House is able to win it back. Anthony Ray Smith. They just keep it for a moment, though. As Louis Bennett finds it once again. And there is the final whistle. Detroit City FC. A few players dropped to the ground in exhaustion in a warm, humid night in the Chicagoland area. And Detroit City perseveres for the 1-0 victory on the road to remain unbeaten on the season.
Yeah, Detroit took care of business tonight. Once again, you're asked to do a job, to show up in whatever role that you have, with this defense, attacking, and overall, they played a pretty decent match. They had a PK and they put it away.
They do what they have to do on the road. They do enough to get a victory. They remain unbeaten. Once again, the final, Detroit City FC 1 over Chicago House AC. That's the final. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and talk about this one a little bit more.
At Physical Therapy and Balance Centers, it's our job to make the complex simple. When your life is sidelined by an injury, surgery, or a condition keeping you from doing what you love, our services aim to get you pain-free and fully functioning. We truly care about our patient outcomes, helping you achieve your goals and improve your quality of life. Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. Love your life.
At Moonlight, we believe better nights lead to better days, and better days add up to a better life. All of our mattresses use safe seam and fire-resistant technology without any spray-on chemicals. Not to mention, our products are made right here in the USA in a little city called Elgin, Illinois. Our commitment to quality doesn't stop there. Just look at all those certifications. At the end of the day, or the middle of the night, Moonlight mattresses are the best choice for both baby and family. Moonlight. Better nights, better days.
I think what makes championship teams are those the core players that can work. Being in Chicago, it's not hard to find those guys.
Just a bunch of familiar names, and we're going to try and build a core. We're going to show people what Chicago is about.
It's always been that thing like, oh, what could it be if we could all just play here?
I think that's one of the coolest things about this team is you do have a lot of local guys from a lot of different backgrounds.
For the guys that are from here, you know, we're building something special.
The food, the people, the music, which is deeply tied to what we're doing here as well with the Chicago House.
You can't ever go wrong with Chicago when it comes to vibes.
It's come full circle with CJ and the guys that I grew up playing with. It's simply the best.
This is Chicago House. This is Chicago House. This is Chicago House.
We know the thrill of pushing your body to that ultimate high.
And we understand how injury brings the most painful low.
Whether you suffer a tear, a sprain, a break, or the effects of time.
The sports medicine team at Weiss Memorial Hospital gets you moving again.
We treat Olympic, professional, and amateur athletes, student athletes, and everyday people seeking active lives.
Our expert physicians and nurses diagnose your problem and provide state-of-the-art, non-surgical, and surgical treatment.
Physical therapists and rehabilitation experts guide your body back to the motion you want and need.
There's no injury too big
or too small.
Because when it's your body,
your passion,
your mission to get back to doing what you love,
the sports medicine team at Weiss Memorial Hospital will get you there.
What a beautiful shot, a beautiful city. A little south of there, Bridgeview, Illinois. It's a final. Detroit City FC 1-0 over Chicago House AC. Kind of get the impression it was better, but not good enough yet to secure 3 points against a quality side like Detroit City. What do you think the main message CJ Brown will either give his side tonight or in the coming days at training?
Listen, I think CJ is telling them that, or will tell them that it was a good outing. The result is obviously not where they want to be. They were in the middle. They were in the game the whole time. I think they even were on the front foot with possession and shots, obviously, from the first half. And I think he can take some positives out of this and share those with the team. But at the end of the day, you got to get the job done. You got to get the result. And the team that has the least amount of mistakes and the least crucial mistakes typically wins. And so right now, unfortunately tonight, there was one crucial mistake that led to a PK. And it's a learning experience for a young team, a young organization, a team that's trying to figure themselves out, figure out who they are, offensively, defensively. But I think he has some positives that he can take away and share with the team. But at the end of the day, you got to get the job done.
Detroit City did. Maxi Rodriguez from the spot is the difference maker. Our next telecast, September 17th against the LA Force at home here inside SeatGeekStadium. So Chicago House AC hits the road for a bit. For my partner, Dason Robinson, I'm Dan Kelly and our crew. We thank you so much for tuning in to Chicago House AC Soccer. The results not the way they wanted them tonight, but until the next time, we say good night from Bridgeview, Illinois.
At Moonlight, we believe better nights lead to better days, and better days add up to a better life. All of our mattresses use safe seam and fire-resistant technology without any spray-on chemicals. Not to mention our products are made right here in the USA in a little city called Elgin, Illinois. Our commitment to quality doesn't stop there. Just look at all those certifications. At the end of the day, or the middle of the night, Moonlight mattresses are the best choice for both baby and family. Moonlight. Better nights, better days.
This Chicago House Athletic Club broadcast is brought to you by the Chicago Center for Orthopedics at Weiss Memorial Hospital, by Nike Soccer, by Physical Therapy and Balance, and by Eat Clean Chicago.
This is Chicago House. This is Chicago House. This is Chicago House.
We know the thrill of pushing your body to that ultimate high.
And we understand how injury brings the most painful low.
Whether you suffer a tear, a sprain, a break, or the effects of time.
The sports medicine team at Weiss Memorial Hospital gets you moving again.
We treat Olympic, professional, and amateur athletes, student athletes, and everyday people seeking active lives.
Our expert physicians and nurses diagnose your problem and provide state-of-the-art, non-surgical, and surgical treatment.
Physical therapists and rehabilitation experts guide your body back to the motion you want and need.
There's no injury too big
or too small.
Because when it's your body,
your passion,
your mission to get back to doing what you love,
the sports medicine team at Weiss Memorial Hospital will get you there.
I think what makes championship teams are those the core players that can work. Being in Chicago, it's not hard to find those guys.
Just a bunch of familiar names, and we're going to try and build a core. We're going to show people what Chicago is about.
It's always been that thing like, oh, what could it be if we could all just play here?
I think that's one of the coolest things about this team is you do have a lot of local guys from a lot of different backgrounds.
For the guys that are from here, you know, we're building something special.
The food, the people, the music, which is deeply tied to what we're doing here as well with the Chicago House.
You can't ever go wrong with Chicago when it comes to vibes.
It's come full circle with CJ and the guys that I grew up playing with. It's simply the best.